Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Another Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain.
Snake. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost, the comrades I've lost, won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? I'm the one who got caught up with Cypher. A group above nations, even the US. And I was the parasite below, feeding off Zero's power. They came after you in Cyprus. Then Afghanistan. Cypher just keeps growing. Swallowing everything in its path. Getting bigger and bigger. Who knows how big now? Boss. I'm gonna make them give back our past. Take back everything that we've lost. And I won't rest until we do.
Approaching Mother Base.
Our new Mother Base. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll make it bigger. Better than before.
God. What should I do?
Boss?
Tell me. Tell me like you used to.
Oh. Why is there blood on my face?
Things have changed, boss. We pull in money, recruits, just to combat Cypher. Rubbing our noses in bloody battlefield dirt. All for revenge. The world calls for wet work, and we answer. No greater good. No just cause.
Cause.
Cypher sent us to hell. But we're going even deeper.
I know. I'm already a demon. Heaven's not my kind of place anyway.
Dogs of war for 9 whole years. That ends today. Now you're not sleeping, and we're not junkyard hounds. We're diamond dogs.
Let them talk.
We can crush Cypher, boss. And you can build the army that can do it.
Just one thing, Kaz. This isn't about the past. We're fighting for the future.
Am I on 60 FPS? Frame rate auto. Vertical sync disable. Depth of field. Everything on X. Hold up for a sec.
Boss, there's something I want to talk about. It concerns the running of Mother Base. Come meet with me. Duquesne, this base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves to. Like any organization, we need good people, and we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out for you. Start bringing people in, use this. It's a Fulton recovery device. When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners you want back here. And we'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of Diamond Dogs. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. First, put them to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
It's an honor, boss.
An honor?
Out like a light. Now approach him and extract him. Good.
See ya, dude.
Extraction
complete.
arrived at
You
Mother
can only
Base.
Fulton recover someone if they're not resisting. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your eye droid.
Select staff management from the Mother Base menu.
So that staff member was placed on the R&D team. The R&D team is in charge of developing all kinds of weapons and items that'll support you on missions. Take a look at the development list.
Select weapons items under the development heading. What's wrong? Go back to the Mother Base menu. Select weapons items under the development heading.
Please specify
That's the
a
R&D
project.
team's development list. See the item called cardboard box? Didn't seem much use to me, but Miller was adamant that you'd want it on the list.
course.
The last word in infiltration technology, or so he said. In any case, we don't have the manpower to develop it just yet. We need more staff on the team. Go extract a few more people. Boss, put the iDroid away for a moment. You can also Fulton extract individuals you've knocked out. Why don't you try knocking someone out with CQC next? Show them how it's done, boss. Try throwing. Knock someone. Excellent, boss. Now extract it. Good.
Extraction
complete.
arrived at Mother
One thing I
Base.
should mention. Fulton extraction won't always be successful. If the person is injured, the shock of it could kill them. And if the weather's unfavorable, well, it could end up going missing. You can determine the chance of success by approaching the person you want to extract. If you want to be sure you can get them out, best carry them to the chopper instead. All right, extract the next staff member.
Look at the shadow. Kind of weird.
Start by knocking him out, or you can put him to sleep.
Don't pull any punches.
Extraction
Now
arrived
that we have
at
more
Mother
people on
Base.
the R&D team, its level has gone.
Unit function added.
Select weapons
Development
items
project
under
has
the
been
development
added.
heading.
Please specify
Now
a
select
project.
cardboard box and start development. Just be aware that development requires funds.
Development has finished.
Please select a
You can
drop
have the
point.
support unit supply you with weapons and items you've developed. Think of it as your own
Supplies
personal
requested.
delivery service.
Supply drop complete.
I think that's gonna be like a... Yep, there it is.
And there it is. Not sure what it's good for, but Miller said you'd know what to do. Try it out. One last thing. The staff members you extracted were all placed on the R&D team, but that was Miller's decision. If you think they belong somewhere else, you're free to move them around. Well, that about does it.
Mission
You won't
info
make any
has been
GMP or
updated.
find recruits hanging around here. Board the chopper when you're ready for a mission. Open your iDroid and select a landing zone to tell it where to pick you up. Or if you're still in the mood for knocking guys on their asses, you can stay around here a while. Give the men some practice. Just come pay me a visit.
Okay, I really need to take a shower here. That's good.
Select unit.
Honestly, there's nothing I can do. Support unit. Alright.
Select unit. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a landing zone. Landing zone.
This is
confirmed.
B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
That won't work.
Are you sure?
I've had truckers.
Thank you. That's all I need.
Gaining altitude.
Yeah, bitches.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
That's a lot of manage.
Mission list updated.
Boss, I know you haven't been back long, but I prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid.
I want to listen to this thing again.
You were hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dikelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospitals.
I've taken the job offers Diamond Dogs has received and made a list of those I want you to consider. Which ones you accept is your call.
Well, there wasn't.
The objectives of the missions I've added are prisoner rescue, facility sabotage, and high-value target elimination.
Burning their
Probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape.
Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal. If that means wet work, so be it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty. I hope you're rested up, because we're not stopping. Not until the pain is gone. The future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss.
Kalia sits right on top of it. It does.
Roll the tape again.
You were hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dikelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto. Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy? Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead. He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent. They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dikelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all. What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south. Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established. And Dikelia sits right on top of it. It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around. So how do things stand? Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up. We're changing ships? We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler. The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it? Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We've got to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There, we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road. And then? We continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter-strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march. Better horses than boats. Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics. Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics? Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire. The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity. Private forces? Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but... I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. You're not sure. 10 years ago.
Alright. Time for a mission. Sorry. Mission list.
Please select a mission.
Gotta play this mission. I'm gonna pick by them for the S rank.
Farming villages in southern Vahan have been subjected to a strategic bombing campaign the past several weeks. The damage is spreading. It's part of the Soviet Scorched Earth operation aimed at wiping out the guerrillas. The target this time is the commander of a Spetsnaz detachment. He's been key to the operation's success. People say this guy's responsible for annihilating the Mujahideen at Tismasi Laman, the Hamid fighters, overnight. He's a tough, experienced commander. Don't underestimate him. The order from my client in the west is to shoot on sight. They want him out of the picture for good. Sorry, boss. This one's purely business. Wet work. A hit on a commanding officer of the Soviet military. Nothing personal. We're only doing this because it gets us one step closer to our goal.
Or we can free roam.
Mission accepted.
You know, just for fun, I'm just gonna land here.
Heading to Afghanistan.
I have nothing. Holy shit.
Deploying.
Let's go, PP.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss. Santiago-Calais and eliminate the target. Or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
Golden Crescent. It's a type of medicinal plant. We can use that to make tranquilizer rounds more potent.
Boss, you see many animals in the field. Truth is, an environmental NGO has asked us to remove wild animals from combat zones. If you have the time, can you extract some back here? There's a reward in it for us.
Alright, now we're trying to snipe down these coyotes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sneak through this.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
That's communications equipment used by the outposts.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost.
You have arrived.
And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Boss, intelligence work is all about observation and gathering information. Start by using your binoculars to get a grasp of your surroundings.
Keep in mind that time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings.
Oh, I do have the Phantom Cigar. No, what the heck is that bastard? Thing is, I don't have any C4 either. Really inconvenient. Only have like a can ignore it.
Anti-air radar. Neutralize that, and our choppers can breathe a little easier.
Pick up with the light, it's really annoying. I'm gonna run dry on ammo soon. It should be in there.
That looks like the target.
Dude, how do I get out of this?
Either destroy that, or turn it off to shut off all the lights and surveillance cameras in the outpost. But of course, the enemy will realize something's up. If you're gonna do it, be quick.
See nothing. How does all that out? Master of the high ground.
Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base. Boss, I gotta say it would be a waste to kill him. But putting him to sleep doesn't count as eliminating him. Neither does knocking him out.
Готовы, 7. Есть признак вражеской активности. Усиливаем
shit. Gotta get out of here.
КП, это Зой 10! У нас проблемы! Усиливаем охрану! Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте максимально осторожны. Конец связи. КП, это Зой 1! Обнаружена угроза! Сэм вышла чехол! Прием! Это КП, понял. Ищите подозрительные. Конец связи.
Okay, got him out. See if I can.
Я не хочу умирать!
Talk.
Не стреляй, пожалуйста, не стреляй!
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member. Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
Where's the LZ?
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, just gotta wait here and we're done. I cannot throw this very far, like. Okay, kinda. Damn.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
You pick me up, bro?
Gaining altitude.
Buddy departing area of operations.
Departing.
Mission complete, boss.
B rank again.
How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Damn, son.
Side ops list
By
updated.
connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC. Some elements of staff assignment and R&D of weapons and items can only be performed from there. Take as long as you need to consider all your options.
Break. Waiting room.
Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned.
I need to go back to the waiting room. See if there's
Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit.
I've only got R&D support.
Please specify a project.
No need for that.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project.
I'll try to. We're really poor on the GMP to do that. Alright. Color? Oh, I can change the camo. Also, this one is good. Okay. I'm just gonna say fuck it and replay the middle mission. So there's that, guys.